To the top, here I go, think I'm chosen to be the king of rock, think the people have spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock, I'm in motion. So now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion. Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fat Boy Cartel podcast. If you're finding us for the very first time, please hit that like and subscribe button. And always, you can find us on our social media that is in the description bar down below. So check us out there. But tonight, we're going to do a recap of Monday Night Raw for May 17th, 2021. The show opened up with Bobby Lashley. He was shown backstage with 5 ladies walking through the back. MVP then was in the ring and introduced us to Lashley, who entered with all 5 of these ladies. They cheered for Lashley after a video package aired of last night's win at WrestleMania Backlash. MVP indicated that the ladies were his idea, and Lashley was very impressed. He put over Lashley's win over 2 of the toughest men in the company. He claimed that Braun Strowman was nursing hurt ribs, and Drew McIntyre couldn't even get out of bed this morning. MVP then said that Lashley was thrown through the stage, but still came back and won the match. Not only that, but Lashley injured his fist, smashing his opponents. Lashley said that the almighty era would never end. MVP said Lashley was supposed to have the night off, but Lashley actually wanted to issue an open challenge. That's when Drew McIntyre's music hit. He entered, and McIntyre said that Lashley could impress his lovely ladies by defending his championship tonight. MVP said the open challenge was for anyone besides Strowman and McIntyre. Lashley tried to attack, but McIntyre ducked and sent Lashley from the ring. The ladies shrieked, and they kept shrieking as this whole thing went down, and they bailed from the ring. Drew McIntyre and Lashley exchanged words as the segment ended. I mean, I don't know. It was an okay opening, I suppose, setting up the show-long story of who was going to answer this open challenge. Yeah, I mean, any thoughts on it?
Let's be honest. Those 2 mountain of men, as we've seen at the pay-per-view, because that referee was a child.
Yeah.
If they were in there, if you were in the ring while they were in the ring, you'd shriek too.
Probably, yes.
I just felt like they kept doing it after this. I'm like, just run and be... Yeah.
They probably pooped. They're in heels. They can't move that fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? You know, you try running in heels, you're gonna do a lot of shrieking too. You roll your ankle one time in them bitches, it's over. Okay, cancel summer.
I mean, and I'll give credit to WWE here. They did a good job of omitting one important detail that is later revealed on into the show. Mm-hmm. So good job on that part. They didn't actually, let it slip or anything like that. So very good.
But I will say this though, like we talked about last night's review. Jesus, I can't remember. Where do we go from here? And I think the logical answer is Drew, but for how long? Because you got to get somebody else there too. I mean, yeah, Braun, but I think Braun's going to take a back seat and do something else for a while, which is fine. But also, you could still use Braun as well. That's 2 contenders that you can switch back and forth with for the time being until you build somebody else up to be put in that position. But who? I have no idea.
Well, by the end of this night, we may have our answer as to where they go, maybe after Hell in a Cell. So we'll see if that's maybe a thread that they continue to pull on, but we'll see how they do it. After this, they plugged the Ultimate Warriors A&E documentary coming up next Sunday. I'm still wanting to see the Shawn Michaels one from this week. I need to check it out before we do the podcast.
Bro, you mean to tell me you didn't see it, but Matt did?
Well, I haven't had a chance to. We were reviewing Backlash, and I watched Raw tonight, so I'll hopefully check it out this week. But yeah, it's definitely what I'm wanting to see for sure. I don't want to miss it. I need to go back and watch a couple of the others, but for sure.
Yeah, he was like, I saw Shawn Michaels' documentary, and I was like, what'd you think? He goes, man.
Yeah,
he was in a bad state.
He doesn't know wrestling like we do, and clearly I kind of know a lot of the things that the documentary is probably going to cover anyway. But I just wanted to hear Shawn Michaels, retelling of it and things like that. So
Matt said it was kind of an eye opening, and I said, Matt, you don't realize like what they went through.
Right.
A lot of those guys. He's not the only one that went down the similar path that he did. We know a lot of them who did, but unfortunately we know a lot of them who went down that road and never came back from it.
Luckily in Sean's case he was able to turn his life around, so that's one of the things I also want to hear more about, is like how all that came to be, which I know some things, but it'd be interesting to see more in detail. Lashley's open challenge is still on for later in the night. We now have a Raw Tag Team Champion AJ Styles with Almost at ringside versus Elias with Jackson Riker at ringside. There was a spot where Styles was down in the corner of the ring and Elias drop kicked him into the post. Styles responded soon after with a slingshot forearm to the outside. Riker checked on Elias as Omos backed up Styles, and that face-off led to a break. Then Elias used a back body drop and spinebuster for 2. Elias flexed his muscles to show off before applying a chin lock. Styles came back with an enziguri, a sliding forearm, strikes, a Pele kick, and a fireman's carry neckbreaker for 2. Elias blocked a Styles clash before hitting a knee strike and a drift away for a near fall. They traded strikes before Styles hit a forearm. Styles set up for a phenomenal forearm, but Riker yanked him off the apron for an abysmal disqualification finish. That got Omos to chase Riker up the ramp. Elias then attacked Styles, so Omos chased him away too. This really didn't do a whole lot for me. It was just kind of there. But again,
here's the thing. I think we forget that Elias can actually wrestle.
Yeah.
And given an opponent like AJ who can still go at the rate that he goes, if done right, if done right, this could actually be really good.
I mean, it was just interesting because I'm assuming AJ and Omos were heels. Now all of a sudden,
Riker and
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, and they kind of played it off like AJ was the babyface here, but
which isn't the first time they've done that.
Yeah, they constantly flip stuff and they don't know who's what.
But here's the thing: it's a lot due to crowd reaction too. I mean, people are going to cheer AJ kind of no matter what.
I guess, but as of right now, there's no crowd, so it's like they're flip-flopping a lot of these guys. It's like 1 week they don't know who they're... Okay, we need a heel this week, so you be the heel this week. It's like there's no consistency with it sometimes.
But you can have 2 fucking heels go at it.
Well, you can, absolutely. Yeah. And it's just... I mean... It's just interesting the way they booked this particular match here. But I just, and maybe they're going that route with Elias and Riker challenging for the titles. I mean, it seems like the New Day may have other things they're going to be doing. We'll see. And really, they don't have a whole lot of tag teams to begin with on Raw. So they got to do something.
They had a great tag team in Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, who... But maybe the money in that is the story between Cedric and Benjamin. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, we'll get a little bit more into them here in a little bit too. After this, we had the announcers plugging NXT, specifically the Johnny Gargano and Bronson Reed cage match tomorrow. They always play commercials for NXT during Raw, but this was the first time in a while I can recall them using the announcers to plug the show. So in that case, good. Hopefully, it'll bring some viewers to NXT. They definitely need it right now. Definitely check it out. It's a better show.
I don't know why you wouldn't plug your your better shows.
It's just something that Raw doesn't always do because NXT is kind of like the redheaded stepchild almost a little bit.
Well, not any fucking more.
It shouldn't be, but they kind of don't worry about it too much sometimes. Then we had New Day approach Riddle in the back. Riddle had requested their presence, but they were immediately confused by whatever he was saying. Riddle had promised them a 2-headed snake, and that's when Randy Orton showed up. Xavier Woods was upset because he wanted an actual snake. Orton said he was told that Riddle had arranged a meeting for them with Adam Pearce. That's when Riddle admitted he stretched the truth to get all of them together. Riddle thought that Orton should apologize to the New Day. Orton was not sorry. Kofi Kingston wasn't surprised. Kingston warned Riddle that he'd end up on the receiving end of an RKO one day if he don't smarten up. Orton told Kingston to back off or he'd get another RKO right now, and Kingston was happy to fight him like it was 2009 all over again. So Randy Orton accepted the challenge for a match here tonight. Orton and Riddle shared an awkward moment before the segment ended. I don't know.
This is where I came into the show, and
I still think we're getting long conned here. I think we will see a heel turn for Riddle. And I think him and Orton could be a good tag team. I mean, let's face it, Orton doesn't really have anything to do. There's no sense of putting him in the title.
No.
Universal title.
Because what it'd be his 15th at this point?
It might even be his tying John Cena if he got a new one.
Yeah.
I believe.
I'd have to check that.
And put him in here with Riddle. Give Riddle something to do.
Yeah, I thought this segment was fucking gold. Randy can kill it with his mic skills.
And not only that, Randy being annoyed by a Riddle is gold. I mean, he's playing that off very well.
I had this thought pop in. I think about halfway through the show. I think it was during their match tonight. It's like with Randall and Matt, it's like big brother, little brother.
Yeah.
I can see
Riddle's
that.
the little brother who wants to tag along with his older brother because he thinks older brother's cool, and older brother gets annoyed at the dumb shit little brother does.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And I think it is outside of the Roman thing, outside of Riddle's stupidity of what they're doing with his character with the birds and shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is also one of the better things in both shows.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they have good chemistry in the ring for sure too.
Oh yeah.
And you can't pair him up against anybody better at this point than the New Day. Xavier
no.
Woods and Kofi. Come on now.
Oh, adding them into this segment,
Yeah,
just made it even better.
mm-hmm.
I mean, if they
And
could,
that's why it'll be even more like, and it's for lack of a better term here, heartbreaking when Riddle does switch, because he has grown that close to the New Day. You know what I mean? They're friends, and
maybe not after
his-
tonight.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For him to turn his back on him would, you know what I mean, be that more devastating and could really drive the story here. You know what I mean? Because it's like you let Randy influence you, and you're, you know what I mean? Like, so you're doing all this shit, and it's not really you, whatever. And Matt could just be like, you know, where was I before? I was a joke. You know what I mean? And then,
Yeah.
You could.
and I think they could do really well together. And this will help bolster your tag division. I mean, think about it this way: you threw, by happenstance, because they had a great series of matches together, Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yeah, yeah, that worked.
You know, and they turned into the Bar, and they were one of the great tag teams for a
Yeah,
long.
them and the Usos going at it.
Exactly, and them in the New Day. You know,
Yeah.
so like you could do that same thing with Riddle and Orton, two guys who are very good in ring, and then you pair them up against two guys who are also not only very good in the ring but very good on the microphone. You know what I'm saying? So you have everything you need here to make something good. I just hope that's what you decide to do.
I mean, this could be a Cesaro Sheamus type situation, but there's a lot of times I don't like the idea of them taking two singles guys and just pairing them together. And now sometimes it can work, like Edge and Randy Orton is a good example too. But a lot of times I prefer my tag team divisions to be guys who come in together. You build those as two guys as a team the whole time instead of doing the singles thing.
They didn't do that with the New Day. The New Day wasn't that beforehand.
No.
True. I mean, I'm not saying it can't work, but I mean, it's just...
hell, in that whole scenario, the only ones that were the Usos.
Yeah.
For now. Yeah, I mean, and you got teams like the Viking Raiders, and you've got some teams that you can't do that with. But I mean, like I said, this is working right now. The longer it goes, they probably definitely will it'll either end with, I still think that maybe either Randy turns, or like you maybe said, maybe Riddle turns and stays with
It'll
Randy.
mean more if Randy or if Riddle does it.
Right, and then maybe I still think they'll probably, at this point, since it's gone on longer than I thought it would originally, they'll probably end up winning the tag titles from AJ and Omos at some point. But that one of the teams may have to go babyface or something, because I don't think Randy Orton's going babyface anytime soon.
No.
I don't like Randy as a babyface.
Unless,
Don't get me wrong, he's way funnier as a babyface.
well, maybe he like feigns being a babyface with Riddle, and then they take on the heel AJ and Omos, and they win the tag titles, and they go for a while, and then that's when Randy snaps and turns. I mean, you could do that.
Yeah, you could.
But that's long term, which they could use some long term booking, that's for sure. But we'll see what they
Oh,
do.
I looked it up. Fact check.
Okay.
Randy Orton right now is a current 14-time
Okay, so he's a
world
couple off.
champion.
Okay.
10 times as WWE and 4 times as world heavyweight.
World heavyweight. Okay.
So
Well,
his
he's
next
getting there.
world title will be 15.
I can
think
see
he's
them
either
definitely.
tied. I think he's tied with Triple H at this point.
I believe so, yeah. So he's a couple away from Cena and Ric Flair, but I'm still wondering if they're ever going to try to break that Ric Flair record. I kind of wonder if that may be the threshold.
That I guarantee that if they do it, it ain't gonna happen until full fans are at full capacity.
Well, agreed, and it shouldn't.
Yeah, but I don't think Cena wants to.
No, and I don't think he does, but I just wonder if anybody will. It may be the threshold they never really crossed, out of respect
I
for
mean,
Flair.
Charlotte might.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
which is another thing. Her reigns didn't mean squat half the time because they would last a week or so and just drop it. But it's all about getting them records. You know how WWE are with that sort of thing. After all the Orton Riddle stuff, we had Alexa's Playground with her guests Natalia and Tamina. Alexa Bliss and Natalia each sat on the swing set, and Natalia answered Bliss's question earnestly as Tamina looked around somewhat freaked out by this whole thing.
Yeah, Tamina was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, Tamina was actually doing a pretty good job here. Tamina suggested that they leave, but Bliss said she hasn't even got to ask the hard questions yet. She asked them their favorite colors. Hard question there. Natalia said, obviously, pink for her. Tamina said black and blue, which is what Bliss's face would look like if she tried anything here. Bliss asked if it was fun.
Try anything freaky.
Yeah, freaky, yeah. Bliss asked if it was fun taking out Reginald. Tamina said yes. Bliss spoke like a child and talked about how Lily loved watching flies getting swatted. She rambled on as Natalia and Tamina just walked away, and and Alexa realized they were gone and wished them luck on their match. She said, "We will be watching." She played with the doll's hair as the segment ended.
I'm sorry? I hate the doll, but Alexa in this gimmick.
Here's
Alexa
the thing.
in this gimmick
is great.
Yeah,
killing it.
She's doing everything she can with this. Absolutely.
That doll is fucking.
Oh, yo, fuck the doll. I fucking hate that doll.
That doll is the thing of fucking nightmares.
With what they've given Alexa in this, she is taking this and is running with it and is doing fucking amazing with it.
Well, with Bray Wyatt off TV, that someone might as well take it on, because from what I hear, Bray Wyatt may be off, dude. I don't know the full reasons, but the talk is that he's off because he's still kind of dealing with the loss of Brody Lee. He may be taking some personal time, which is understandable. I mean, he was one of his closest friends. I get that. So at this point, it makes sense.
In terms of WWE, they came in together.
Yeah. So and obviously, he did the whole thing at WrestleMania in honor. So I mean, it's definitely something that's probably he's dealing with. So
what was it? It hasn't been that long since him and JoJo had their kid.
Yeah, that could be part of it too as well.
So that I'm sure it's. I got a feeling it's a mix of Brody Lee's passing, being home with the kid,
pandemic stuff,
not wanting to risk it with the kid, whatever. And then I feel like maybe it was his idea to have Alexa kind of take over the thing.
Yeah, and like I said, she's taking the ball and ran with it.
They've given her essentially everything that he had in that. Even the theme's the same.
Yeah.
They changed it a bit, but that's the same. The graphics are the same, just with her, instead of the Firefly Funhouse, it's Alexa's Playground. So, I mean, I got a feeling and they've been doing that partnering since last summer?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's been a while now. But I mean, I'm not saying I'm a big fan of the actual Fiend character gimmick type thing, because obviously they do a lot of goofy stuff. And then here in a little bit, we'll get into more about that, which was some of that stuff that was pretty cringy. But she's doing what she can with what they're giving her, and she's, they're giving her a character to run with. So that's more than some wrestlers could get these days.
And that's the thing with Alexa. I know a lot of people give her shit about her in-ring ability, but I think we've talked about it before. She's another one that's got great mic skills.
And this is one of those things she's really not had to do a whole lot in the ring lately. So, they're using her despite some of her weaknesses, I guess, perceived weaknesses. I don't think she's that bad in the ring, personally.
I don't think she's that bad.
There's worse. I think Charlotte's been worse than her lately.
Well, yeah.
That's just me.
I mean, obviously, give her more time in the ring and it's going to come.
Yeah. But she's got to get in the ring.
Right now, her greatest strength is her talking.
Yeah, it's going over
whether
well.
It's a perceived weakness or not with the company, they're keeping her out of the ring to make sure, nothing gets exposed. So, I mean, good on them for, playing to her strengths.
And keeping her on television, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
After this, we had Angel Garza versus Drew Gulak. Garza won decisively with the wing clipper. He shoved a rose in Gulak's mouth after the match. Before the match, they showed still photos of Garza shoving the rose down Gulak's pants a couple weeks ago, where he then kicked it up his backside. This is kind of just a showcase for Garza here. I mean, at least they're giving him...
This was a short match, too, was it not?
Yeah, I don't think it lasted very long. Like I said, it was pretty quick, but... good for Garza. At least they're giving him something to do here and on a long show. You might as well. Yeah, sucks for Gulak, but at least the dude's a good worker, so it's a good guy to
At
put him
least
in the
he's
ring.
on TV.
That's true. I mean, it only lasted 2 minutes, so nothing, real long, but that's okay here. Then we had Drew, or R-Truth was in the back trying to hide as Kevin Patrick approached him for an interview. Truth was worried because there was an open challenge for his 24/7 title.
What the fuck?
Patrick let him know that it was Lashley who had the open challenge, not the 24/7 title. Truth was very relieved. That's when Akira Tozawa rolled him up to win the belt and ran away. So more 24/7 belt hijinks here. I could care less. I was actually kind of glad because this title had not been on the show in weeks, and I thought maybe we were finally just forgetting it ever existed, but not the case.
Nope.
Like, yeah, I don't understand. Truth wears that title on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? He has a TikTok account.
He wears that title with fucking pride.
Another guy who is doing everything he can with what they've been giving him, and credit to R-Truth
Truth's
too.
been doing that for years.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah,
Truth is good at what he does.
I'd agree.
And I think with his multiple injuries and shit, this is why you don't see Truth in actual matches anymore, because it's just to the point where like it's not a thing.
Right.
He can do.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, look at the kitty. You got he just
It
bam.
sounded like something was breaking in my damn house.
Well.
Anyway. So given that he can't do that anymore, this is something he can do. You put a microphone in this man's hand, or you put a camera in his face, and it is the funniest thing because Truth just has that charisma and that presence that when he gets in front of a camera and you give him a microphone, you just listen. He made an invisible friend.
Yeah.
Remember Little Jimmy?
Little Jimmy, yeah.
And Little Jimmy got over.
Oh yeah.
How the hell that happened, I have no idea. But it's all truth. It's our truth.
Because it's our truth.
Well,
You know
it's
what I'm
like to kind of compare him to someone a little bit more successful in terms of accolades. Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho won. If it wasn't for it being Jericho, Sparkle Crotch wouldn't have got over as it did.
Was that you?
What?
That noise.
He made
Yeah. My dog creaks.
an item over his shit with the list.
Yeah. Jericho's good at getting about anything over.
So I feel
And the scarf. The scarf was
the
over.
Scarf.
Jericho
Sparkle
and
crotch.
Truth, in terms of being able to run with essentially anything you give them,
Yeah.
it's Truth and Jericho.
And that's why they like our truth. I mean, because he'll do everything they ask, with a smile, regardless if it's good or not.
It's a paycheck for him.
Yeah, at this point in his career, I mean, that's good for him. If
He's
they're
been
willing to-
wrestling since at least 99.
I remember
Long
him when
time.
he came in as K Quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with Road Dogg.
Yeah, with the silver jeans.
yeah.
And then when he left, he went to TNA.
Mhm.
And then Road Dogg was there, and was it Billy Gunn? It was somewhat. Yeah, it was Billy Gunn. 3 Live Crew was their name. And then they changed the name to Voodoo Kim Mafia, which was Vincent Kennedy McMahon. His initials.
Gotcha. I see you. I got you.
And then they all left and went back to WWE. Road Dogg got the backstage thing, and Truth did wrestle for a while. Many iterations of Truth. I remember he had a heel run.
Yeah, him and the Miz.
Yeah, him and the Miz, and then the Little Jimmy shit.
The dude will definitely be in the Hall of Fame later.
Oh, for sure.
And there's and I'm sure when that happens, there's going to be a lot of fans who debate whether or not it's deserving. But when you look back at the career, just because of
that man deserves to go in right the fuck now.
well, just because people will be like, well, he never really did. I mean, I don't think he ever won a world title. I don't
think he won a world title, no, but I do think he won an intercontinental title.
Yeah.
He's won IC titles. He's even in the past
US
5 years,
title.
he held the U.S. title.
But if you look at his career and all the things they've had him do and asked him to do, and the length of his career, I would understand it.
Which is
there's
enough.
Right, agreed. Compared, you're putting in people who have maybe made one appearance at
Let's
certain
be
things.
real. You put Drew fucking Carey in your Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Dude,
a lot of.
Time out though. Hold on. He was not only that. He was a fucking workhorse. he worked with
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of young guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And helped him out. Like Miz, for example. Miz was relatively known,
The
and he was
Awesome
but
Truth.
yeah, that was a great gimmick.
I'm not
And
saying
it
he's not
worked.
deserving. I'm just saying there are going to be some talk. You know what'll happen.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
they
they're-
can have that opinion. They're
Yeah, your
wrong
opinions
opinion.
are like assholes. Everybody has one. So like, yeah.
Anyway, we're
I
probably
think-
spending a little too much time on the 24/7
Yeah.
segment
I
here,
think he
but
deserves it.
yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. You know, especially when it comes to his body of work. Not
He should get
regardless.
rolled up during his WrestleMania speech. For
That
the
might
24/7
happen.
title.
Don't
Or
speak too
that
loud.
24/7 title.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
has that going into his Hall of Fame induction speech.
God, I
comes out
can't
with
wait for
it.
that speech.
Yeah, and whoever's inducting him has got to be the one to roll him up.
Rolls him up.
Why not? I mean, go for it at that point.
What if it's Vince McMahon? That should be hilarious.
You know,
I'm
yeah, you never know.
surprised they haven't given it to Vince. They gave it to what?
And they're
Both
actually
Pat
really
Pat-
good friends.
They gave that to Pat Patterson and Briscoe. So yeah, give it to fucking Vince for a day.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like legitimately, I think him and Vince are actually really close.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh,
again, you have a
I'm not-
long career. Vince is going like with Taker, people who've been loyal to him. He definitely has
Yeah.
good friendships too. So,
I mean, okay, we'll stop.
good.
Yeah,
All right, yeah. Oh, yeah, good.
Move on.
After all this, we had Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. Riddle rolled out on his scooter during Orton's serious entrance, which was an amusing visual, I thought. He then followed him down to the ring. Orton looked annoyed as all hell, but it worked, obviously, like
Yeah,
these two have
man,
been
little brother tagged along.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah. And then Burke wondered if it was wise for Kingston to take on a match or take on a man like Randy Orton, which he is a fellow wrestler, so I don't understand what Anton Burke was trying to imply here.
It's not like they haven't
Because-
faced each other before.
Yeah.
But we all know that Randy can kick it up into a different gear.
Agreed.
As
And
far as
he's
Kingston
trying to
goes.
sell it. I get it,
Yeah.
but it's like it kind of made Adman look kind of like a not the
Again,
brightest.
that's what you get with these legitimate sports guys. They-
Right.
Yeah,
He doesn't.
who's
He
saying
probably don't know the
doesn't
whole
know
history and all that
Yeah.
stuff too.
he doesn't. And but that's the thing. But it's implied though, and
Yeah.
I'll just play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
That he knows somewhat of the situation, but he's implying that a guy of I mean, you look at the size difference between the two of them too, but like a guy of Randy Orton's caliber is going up against a guy of Kofi's caliber, right?
Right.
And we all know what Randy, especially a motivated and at this point annoyed with his own partner, Randy Orton would do.
He's just
to-
angry.
Yeah. So I think that's what he's implying, more or less. Not more or less sort of like who's this guy versus who's this guy type shit.
Right. I got you. Well, this match, early on, they messed up a spot pretty early in the match. I think Kingston was supposed to leap over Randy Orton as he came off the ropes, but instead they collided with Kingston's hip, hitting Orton directly in the head. Orton rolled to the outside to regroup. Orton also then motioned for Kingston to come outside and get him, so they went back in the ring and redid the same spot that they botched. Kingston was in control until Orton poked him in the eyes. Orton then whipped Kingston into the corner, but Kingston bounced off the buckles and hit a drop kick. Orton cut him off with a power slam. Woods played his trombone, which distracted Randy Orton and allowed Kingston to apply a schoolboy for the pinfall victory over Randy Orton here. Another distraction finish that Raw has kind of been come to known for here. And another wrestler who is distracted so easily, which makes him kind of look stupid. I don't know why it
Yeah,
would.
really. It's like that annoying thing, like, what the fuck?
I get that, but it's like, ignore it. You know what I mean? It's just a trombone. I mean, it is weird.
But it's like one of those things that caught him
I
off
legit
guard.
thought
It's like
when
with all the
Woods-
annoying things that happen. You got Riddle coming down on the scooter during your entrance. You got, as far as that spot goes, I knew they were going to do it again because obviously Randy's not going to be happy if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
So him taking a
Now
powder.
the question is, did he call Kofi stupid?
I don't think he called him stupid this time. Who did he say that? Was it? It was.
It was Kofi.
Yeah,
It was
that's why I
Kofi.
brought it up.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I really just wanted Xavier to play Stone Cold Steve Austin's music again on the trombone because that was brilliant that last time he did that. But, or at least maybe played Orton's music. That could have been good too. At least it'd been like, why are you playing my music? That could have been good. then I'd have understood it more. But
Again, like to play devil's advocate here, I think it's just one of those things. Like you got all this shit going on. You got your annoying little brother out here. You're in the ring with these two.
it's
as
like,
you perceive it,
Orton's like had
goofballs.
enough.
Yeah. And then like this happens. He's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Then boom, schoolboy roll up, and now he's like, I fucking lost to this.
Yeah, I guess I'm just tired of the distraction finishes that they do constantly. But at least for last night, they did a good job of not doing it. But here we are back to it again. Randy Orton was quote unquote pissed, but Riddle got between him and the New Day. Orton left. Riddle was about to go after Orton, but Xavier Woods grabbed him by the arm. That's when Riddle turned around and shoved Woods on his ass, and Riddle left, following Randy Orton to try to talk to him. So yeah, they kind of subtly teased here. Looks like it might be RK Bro versus the New Day.
I saw Woods fell on his ass, and I had looked away for a quick second, and the next thing I look over at my iPad, Woods is on his ass. I was like, the fuck happened there?
Yeah, well, Riddle just kind of snapped a little bit, which again, to Brandon's point, maybe he kind of, takes on a little bit of Randy's traits here.
At some point, he's going to start emulating his older brother.
And it looks like we're setting up a tag team match probably at, I'm guessing Hell in a Cell, probably most likely.
It'd be next week.
Yeah, it could be. You're right. We'll see what happens. After this, we had Naomi and Lana backstage with Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce. They told the two authority figures here that they should get another tag title shot because Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, who were also standing there, kept interfering in their matches. Rose and Brooke said they wanted the next shot themselves. That's when Charlotte Flair barged in and said they've all blown their many chances. And Dana Brooke, under her breath, said, "You mean like you did last night to Charlotte?" Which caused Charlotte to say, "What did you say?" And then, she didn't say anything in return. Yeah, exactly. Sonya Deville said they would determine the next challengers after tonight's match for the tag titles. She asked the teams to leave so they could speak to Charlotte. Charlotte wanted a singles match against Rhea Ripley. Charlotte explained to Pierce that she deserves a shot because she didn't get pinned last night, and they told her that they would consider it if she beats Asuka tonight. To me, I think somebody needs to put out a memo to all these wrestlers. You could do the same with Drew McIntyre and obviously with Charlotte here. This whole thing about I wasn't pinned in a triple threat match, you were in the match, you lost whether you were pinned or not because you were in the match. I hate to say
Here's the thing. And what's the next segment after this? Is it the match with Charlotte?
Well, Rhea Ripley enters this conversation here in a second, but
okay.
It's the tag team title match after this. But yeah,
oh, the fuck. I'm going to talk about it now. Charlotte and Asuka have a match later in the fucking night. Charlotte fucking loses to Asuka, who did get pinned last night.
Yeah, 50-50 booking.
What do they do? It's not even that. It's like Charlotte comes in and is like, "Hey, I didn't get pinned last night,
and now you got pinned.
And then has a match with the person who did get pinned. You lose by pinfall."
So her argument's kind of out the window.
Where is your claim to the title match now?
Right. Because she didn't lose in the triple threat. But again, my point is, you're in a triple threat match for the title. You may not have gotten pinned, but you're still in that match. You lost. You have no claim at this point. But they like to write it to where, I wasn't covered. That doesn't mean you still didn't lose. You lost.
No, you still lost. I can understand that part of like, all right, yes, I lost that match, but I'm not the one who got pinned. So-and-so got pinned.
It's just a story, lazy storytelling, really, in my opinion.
In a sense, it's like, no, because we did the same thing to where it's like, I get it. I may have lost that match because I was in that match, but I didn't need the pin. That person can't beat me. They beat someone else, not me.
And I get what they're doing.
But then again, tonight, Charlotte
loses to Asuka. To the one who got pinned. But it's not like we're saying it's Asuka.
But it's also because, kind of like the main event, because Rhea semi got involved. They like to do this thing where, it didn't hurt Charlotte because she was distracted. Again, no one can get over because you do these sort of gimmicks that take away from the win. So Asuka's win over Charlotte here really doesn't matter because they're going to play it off like Charlotte was distracted the whole time, and it just doesn't help anybody.
Anyways,
but that's the thing. It's not like Asuka needs Rhea's help.
No.
You know what I mean? So in that aspect, I don't understand why you would. I could understand her still losing to Asuka, because Asuka's not like she's not like a B tier wrestler here.
She's no slouch.
No.
Yeah. So, you lost.
Your
argument is invalid.
And now Charlotte's going to say, "Well, I always lost because Rhea," and so
you fucking watch it. Hell in a Cell is in a
whiny,
something like that.
Heel thing that like I didn't get my just dues in this situation, but if she was champ and the same was said,
she'd be like, no, get in the back of the line. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I get that side of it.
It's like you're now getting everything that you give everyone else in this situation, and back to the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
Well,
watch it. Come Hell in a Cell, you'll have another triple threat for that women's title.
I kind of hope not, but we'll see what they do. Rhea Ripley also entered this conversation. Like I said, she did care about Charlotte and want a new competition. She said Charlotte was yesterday's news. Charlotte warned her that it was a matter of time until she beats her to win the title. So then we move on to the Natalia and Tamina defending their tag titles against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. The challengers took control immediately after Jax ran over Natalia. Natalia hit Jax with a discus clothesline and tagged in Tamina. Tamina knocked Jax off the apron, but Baszler put her in the Kirifuda clutch. Alexa Bliss then appeared on the stage holding the doll. Fire then suddenly shot out of the ring post near Reginald, which looked like they were about 3 feet apart from the ring post and Reginald, but yet Reginald fell back off the ring steps and grabbed his face as if he'd been burned. It was clearly nowhere close. Now, granted, there's heat coming off those things, but still.
Hey, you better calm down, Scooter. You're that close.
Shit.
To an eruption of fire?
Yeah.
3 feet, my ass don't fucking matter. You better check your face.
Also, that wasn't just fire. That was Kane's ring fire.
Right, but yeah,
So
which I've been
right?
in the crowd when Kane's pyro goes off. It is hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And you're further back than he was. So
right.
Calm down.
It just looked. It just
that's
didn't.
at least second-degree burn.
It just didn't look. It just didn't look good because they clearly shot it where it was like a big gap in between the two.
It don't matter. Okay, 3 feet close enough.
Anyway, this fire pyro caused Baszler to let go of her finisher. Natalia tagged in, and they gave Baszler a heart attack for the pinfall win. Again, another little bit of a distraction finish here, and again, Shayna Baszler eats the pinfall.
But this timeout, you can get upset if you want to, but this is going to tell that story of it's going to put what's her name, Shayna Baszler, into a feud with
Alexa.
It could because this is like the third time.
Second or third time, because
Second or third time.
I think right before the SmackDown title match, it was that Monday where her knee went out mysteriously.
Yeah, it was.
So
you're right. Yeah,
it's going to be one of those situations where it's like you have been costing me all this.
Well, and we didn't mention it last week when that knee thing happened, where she kind of acted like her knee was going out on her. Apparently, I remember Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Radio said that I guess the idea was that Alexa's the one kind of doing some voodoo to make her leg buckle. It wasn't that she was hurt or anything like we all thought when we watched it. But yeah, it was some sort of magic that was going on there. So
listen, if Kamala can be scared of magic from The Undertaker, and Papa Shango, who was literally a voodoo
witch doctor.
Yeah, witch doctor, whatever. Let's just roll with this.
I'm still not a big fan of these goofy hijinks, but especially after the match here.
Dark magic.
Yeah, I know, but it's just not.
Taker came out of a casket being struck by lightning. All right,
that was better than this. But
calm down.
But in the same realm of realms.
Yeah. It's the same shit.
It's that
calm down.
I get it.
Magic, supernatural stuff.
It's just sometimes
Taker
not my
teleported. You better.
Yeah, Matt Hardy does it too.
Believe.
I understand.
Taker was buried alive.
Yeah, it's just that sort of thing that wrestling does, where it's just kind of a goofy gimmick. But the thing I really didn't like about this, though, wasn't so much that as badly as afterwards we had Nia Jax checking on Reginald, and the doll Lily, the awful chuckle played over the speakers that is just cringy and just forced.
Call it all if you want to. That shit is a shit of nightmares.
I mean, it's creepy. Don't get me wrong.
The
but
doll itself is a nightmare.
Yeah,
a fucking nightmare.
They've got this thing with awkward laughs between this doll and Bailey here lately. It's like it's a little cringy to me, but
nightmares.
Yeah. After this, we had
transparency though.
You call it cringy. You call it cringy, but I tell you what, turn off every light in your fucking house and play that song. I bet you your ass don't wake up from a dead sleep going the fuck.
Dead sleep. I won't be going to sleep. So there's that.
I tuned out on that match entirely because I'm tired of seeing Nia Jax.
Yeah, I agree with that. And now that she's still had the tag team championship, so maybe we won't see her as often. So that would be, once a week I can stand it. But
this is their way of slowly splitting them two apart.
Maybe so, yeah. And they've been teasing that for a while anyway with this whole Reginald thing. So and now with Alexa Bliss, definitely got hopefully have somewhere for Baszler to go, and maybe she'll get some wins because they've been putting it to her a lot lately. That sounded bad, but anyway.
Just have her destroy. Just have the 4 women that were planning about the title match. Just have Shannon run through all of them.
Yeah, I agree with that. That'd be great.
Here's the thing. You're going to get at one point, Shannon's going to destroy that doll, and all hell's going to break loose.
Ooh, that will be interesting to see.
You think they destroyed the doll that quickly? Mm-hmm. I mean, they could.
I mean, destroy is a figurative term because, like...
Yeah, like the Bray's dolls kept coming back to life, so you could do that gimmick. So
killed them bitches on TV.
Right.
You saw that shit happen.
Yeah, never say never.
Fuck you. How many times has he murdered the rabbit?
Yeah, yeah.
Weekly?
Yeah, so why not? You could do it. After this, we had the U.S. champion Sheamus putting out another. Oh, well, no, it wasn't a challenge. He grabbed the mic and before the match, he said he was pissed at Ricochet for touching his clothes last night and demanded he return his stuff. So I guess he stole the clothes today.
Didn't they rip this out of fucking NXT? Because what was it, Cameron Grimes had issues with anyone who touched his hat?
Maybe so. I don't know the full story. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of new to the NXT scene. So.
I think it was months ago, but I remember watching other channels reviews of shows, and I swear to you, Cameron Grimes on an NXT would flip shit if you touched his hat.
Yeah. Now, I will say last night during WrestleMania Backlash, I said I would love to see this feud continue because they had such a great match. I'm starting to regret my want for that right about now, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Eric. They scour the internet,
right,
listening to all these podcasts on their shows,
and now
that's where they get their ideas.
Maybe I'm a flip-flopper fan, but what they did tonight with this, I was not a big fan of. Ricochet wanted to shut up Sheamus once and for all. Sarah Schreiber asked Ricochet about Sheamus's accusation about his clothes. Ricochet did indeed take Sheamus's coat and hat from the locker room earlier. That's when Ricochet put on Sheamus's stuff before doing a very bad impression of Sheamus. As Ricochet, he then entered the stage
for some reason.
Yeah, and then I can't remember what all he said, but it was absolutely ludicrous. As Ricochet entered the stage, Sheamus went after him, but Ricochet dodged the attack and went to the ring. Ricochet wrestled in black jeans with a belt, which he kind of did on the pre-show last night. The match started with Ricochet on the attack, but Sheamus quickly took over with a clothesline. Sheamus beat him up and sent him over the barricade, which led to the break. Sheamus was still in control after the break until Ricochet came back with forearm strikes. Sheamus responded with the backbreaker for 2. Ricochet hit a Spanish fly for 2, and Sheamus must have hurt his leg on the spot. They landed awkwardly, and Ricochet basically landed on Sheamus's leg. Ricochet used a standing shooting star for 2. Sheamus got his knees up on a springboard moonsault attempt for 2. Ricochet went to the top, so Sheamus rolled out of the ring. Ricochet hit a dive to the outside before pushing Sheamus back in the ring, and Ricochet removed his belt before hitting a springboard 450 splash for a near fall. Ricochet tried another springboard move, but Sheamus nailed him in midair with a knee strike. The referee seemed to count to 3 after this knee strike, but Ricochet had, I guess, kicked out. So the match continued. It didn't matter, though, because Sheamus followed immediately with a vicious bro kick for the win. Yeah, this kind of went a little long for my taste, about 13 minutes. But again, I guess they decided to give him time because such a good match that they had last night. But this wasn't anywhere on par with what they did on the pre-show for Backlash, in my opinion.
I'm just glad to see Ricochet on TV.
Yeah,
agreed.
The only thing I say is give it time. I mean, see where it goes. I wouldn't mind them putting their title on Ricochet.
If they continue with it, obviously, the longer they work together, the better. Hopefully, it gets.
Yeah.
I still want to get an explanation as to why Ricochet's wearing black pants and a belt, though. Maybe that's something that's going on main event that I'm not aware of. But it's like they changed it for some inexplicable reason at this point. They haven't really said anything.
I mean, what was it? Last week, Jinder came back?
Yeah, and he wasn't on his show again either.
Oh, well, I'm fucking surprised there. Mm-hmm. But no, the shit they did with him last week, they were doing on main event. Main event's essentially their.
Or where's Mansoor been? I think he does make an appearance tonight, but they signed him to Raw, did that thing with Sheamus, and he hasn't been seen since, really. So, but yeah, we'll get into a little bit more about Mansoor here in a little bit, I guess. Sheamus put on his coat and his hat and the title belt after the match. He mocked Ricochet before warning Lashley that he might accept his open challenge tonight. But anyway, teasing for that. Then we had T-Bar and Mace backstage cutting a promo. They spoke in using this convoluted WWE scripted dialogue that no one would ever actually say in real life before flipping a coin to determine which one of them would face Lashley. They didn't reveal who the winner of that coin toss would be, probably because neither one of them called heads or tails. So it's kind of hard to tell. what that would have been like. After this, after this, we had Asuka, as we mentioned, defeated Charlotte Flair. Obviously, Asuka was in complete control for the beginning of this match. Rhea Ripley came out to ringside to kind of sit and watch. Charlotte remained in control until Asuka fired back and went back and forth from there. There was a weird spot where Charlotte went up for a Spanish fly off the top, but Asuka held the buckle and didn't budge, and so Charlotte basically gave herself a Spanish fly on her lonesome. It was almost like Asuka didn't want to go or didn't go, and Charlotte was the only one doing the spot. It was weird, really weird. Charlotte applied a leg lock between the ropes before chuckling. chucking Asuka into the announce table. Charlotte and Ripley went face to face, and Asuka tried to attack, but Charlotte chucked her back in the ring. Charlotte got in Ripley's face again before going after Asuka. Asuka kicked Charlotte into the ropes as Ripley jumped on the apron, so Charlotte kicked her down. Asuka then applied a small package for the win. So yet again, another distraction finish.
No distraction. You caused that.
Well, you got in her face, yes, but it still caused Ripley to get on the apron.
Yeah. So you caused it.
Okay.
No distraction. You did that.
You caused it, and then you chose.
Yeah.
To get.
Instead of staying focused on the opponent in the ring, you chose to screw this up.
Yeah.
Again, we've talked about this before with the baby faces. It's a normal singles match. You should know in the back of your mind that if Rhea gets in there and touches either of you two, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on the match. So focus on the opponent.
You do everything required to get her attention.
This kind of goes back to the whole point of just whether distractions or interferences or not. The wrestlers probably need to stop worried. I know this is storytelling they're trying to do, but ignore what's going on outside the ring. Ignore the music. Ignore whoever. Focus on what you're doing. And like in the case of on NXT, I think they did where, somebody showed up on the outside, and when they roll outside, that's when they kind of noticed it. But before that, they didn't acknowledge it. So I think that's what they need to start doing.
Just like one of the smartest things anybody's ever done. We all know, like, when somebody's cutting a promo and then somebody appears on a Titantron, they're somewhere in the building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns did that shit when Drew was with Shane. And that whole storyline. You remember that? He's in the ring cutting a promo. Roman's in the ring cutting a promo. And then they appear on the Titantron. Talking shit. Roman says, screw this. Drops out of the ring. Goes immediately to where they are. And destroys the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
And I was like, that's probably one of the smartest things anybody's ever done.
Oh, yeah.
Bianca said it, too. When Friday night when she's in the ring talking and Bayley gets on the Titantron, the first word Bianca asked her was, "Where are you?" And then Bayley said she wasn't in the ring or anything. She wasn't in the building. She was on somewhere else or whatever. Which again, that's smart because it's like if I know you're in the same building as I am, and it ain't hard to fucking find you, but I'm not gonna stand here and just let you talk shit to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to come see you. It's along that same lines. So, again, you antagonize the champion who's out there, get in her face, do all this trash talking or whatever, and then finally when that person has enough of you just running your gap here, gets up and causes you to lose, that's on you, Chief. Like, you did that.
I just hate the fact that it seems like I can't remember the last time Charlotte lost anything clean.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously she has the stigma of never wanting to do the job and always wanting to be put over. Whether or not that's true or not, that could be a WWE call. I don't know. But she definitely has that stigma going around. So
she still lost, regardless of how she lost.
She did, but they're going to cover it up again by protecting her. So see, this happened. Whether she caused it or not, it still happened. There was an interference, or
and
at least,
yeah. For me, Charlotte's becoming that whole whiny heel.
Yeah.
Where it's like she's full of excuses. She doesn't want to take responsibility for it. And I think that's what they're going for here, is that she'll continue to lose until she gets back what she had before. She doesn't have it right now.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully she doesn't have it again I mean, I know it's been a while since she has had it, but I just I don't think you need to be taking it off of Rhea Ripley right now. That's just my opinion. After this, we had Patrick backstage interviewed John Morrison. Morrison made some zombie jokes and dedicated tonight's match in memory of The Miz. So I don't know where they're going with The Miz, when he's coming back, whatever.
He's a zombie, man.
Yeah,
I said before we started the recording, I will give WWE credit for keeping Miz off the show.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
Since we visually saw him get mauled by
Miz is off of life, okay? He got eaten by zombies.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
You would think.
At the very least, he comes back, he needs to be a fucking zombie.
I mean, at least in kayfabe, I don't know I guess maybe in a few weeks or so, maybe they just hope you forget about it and move on. I don't know. Maybe he comes back.
No, Johnny Drip Drip will find a cure for his zombinism.
I think
Yes.
if they do this right, Miz should attack Morrison when he comes back.
He gone.
You know, he caused him to be eaten alive by zombies. One
gone,
more,
man.
you know,
Gone.
what other reason would you have than to turn on your old partner? We'll see what
Gone.
happens. Speaking
Yeah,
of lumberjack
zombie.
matches, though, we got yet another lumberjack match. Luckily tonight, no zombies, though. Thank God.
Proper lumberjack match.
Yeah, with Damian Priest versus John Morrison. Corey Graves said Damian Priest woke up this morning as the talk of the WWE Universe. The Lumberjacks were Nikki Cross, the Viking Raiders, Mansoor, who actually made an appearance tonight, Tozawa, the new 24/7 champion, T-Bar, Mace, Lucha House Party, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, Titus O'Neil, and Mustafa Ali. So basically, the catering all-stars here were outside the ring here.
Nikki Cross up there. I was glad to see her.
Yeah,
on
which is
TV.
interesting. You know, they definitely put it out on commentary that she was the only woman out there, so they definitely made mention of her.
Well, I mean, it's fucking Nikki Cross.
Yeah, and she should be getting more screen time. I mean, she's
Yeah.
very
Oh, yeah.
underutilized. Morrison
Have
took
her
it.
just team up with have her team back up with Alexa. Somehow.
Oh, God.
I don't know
No.
about
Can
that.
you imagine Nikki Cross being like a mind-controlled henchman for Alexa?
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
But I just wanted to go back to
Can you
NXT
imagine?
crazy. You know,
Yeah.
Just
Just
be
have her
that.
act like that and just say this time it's because Alexa's got her under mind control or something.
I guess
So
you
not
could.
Totally unhinged.
I'd be down for a singles run though. That's for sure.
Well,
Yeah, Morrison took control briefly after Mason T-Bar attacked Priest outside the ring. Morrison fell out of the ring at one point, so Cross shoved him back into the ring. Morrison tried avoiding the Lumberjacks again, but ran right into a slam by Priest, which sent us to a commercial break. Mason T-Bar attacked Priest again outside the ring. Priest fought off Morrison anyway before wiping out Mason T-Bar with a dive. That's when Cedric Alexander attacked Shelton Benjamin for fun, which led to a brawl. The gathering of bodies gave Priest the opportunity to superplex Morrison to the outside onto the pile. They still came down pretty hard, though, on all these people. Ali, Ivar, and Cross were among those fortunate enough to avoid this tragic fall here. Priest used a Hurricane Rana to bring Morrison down from the top before nailing Hit the Lights for the pinfall win. So after the match, Priest told Schreiber, again, after this match, we had the conversation about all these interviews after big moments. We had another interview after a match here, not a big moment. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Maybe they're going to overdo this a little bit. Priest told Schreiber that it was time to move on from Miz and Morrison. She asked him, what's next? And he said, maybe he'll answer Lashley's challenge. So I just wonder if
you spoke it into fucking
maybe I did. I don't know, but I just had that.
WWE listens to all the fucking podcasts.
That's a lot of podcasts.
They came across ours last night and say, hey,
Did
we should do more of
I
those.
just had this gut feeling that they might overdo it.
Especially non-big moments.
Yeah, and this is not a big moment, in my opinion. So again, I hate to be
Hopefully,
right sometimes.
Here's where you could technically call it a big moment. Priest is done with Miz and Morrison.
Agreed with that. But yeah, I mean,
That's the big moment for
let's
a
hope.
post-match interview. You're finally done facing those two.
Where he goes, I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Maybe the U.S.
Have
title.
him go after fucking Sheamus.
Yeah, that'd be okay, at least for now. And then we'll see what they do. I mean, maybe they feel like it's a little early still to put him in a title picture, but I don't think it is. I think it'd
You
be
don't
good.
have to fucking give him the title.
No,
Yeah, you don't have to give him the
Or
title.
I mean, not even, not at least right away. You could,
Yeah.
you
But
could do
at
a
least put him in
series.
the conversation.
Yeah, you could do a nice little 3-match story arc or whatever. Maybe give it to him in the middle or at the end or whatever. But yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully do good things with Priest because he's very good talent. After this, we actually had one earlier. I neglected to mention it, but there was a video for Eva Marie. Again, this was a new one, actually. She wanted to be a heroine like Angelina Jolie growing up, and now she is one, she says. So we'll see what they do
I
with
thought
her.
you said she wanted to do heroin like Angelina Jolie.
No, she wanted to be a heroine. Yeah.
Damn.
Let me make sure I got that straight.
Yeah, I
we all-
was like, whoa, brother.
We also had another promo plugging the Bronson Reed match against Gargano tomorrow, so they're definitely pushing this, so I'm glad to see that.
That'll probably be your main event tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be a good match, too, in a steel cage, so we'll see what happens tomorrow night. So stay tuned here on the channel for our review of that show as well. Then we had Patrick interviewing Shelton Benjamin backstage. Patrick asked about Cedric Alexander, but Benjamin didn't want to talk about him. Benjamin wanted to face Lashley for the title tonight, so everybody's vying for Bobby Lashley's title, as they should, to make the title relevant. Alexander showed up and sarcastically applauded Benjamin. Alexander was amused that Benjamin thought he was a legend and said a fluke win over him didn't mean he could face Lashley. Alexander said there was a reason everyone always abandoned him. That's what Shelton Benjamin just decked him and looked like he hit him pretty hard, too. Yeah, cold cocked him.
You got to feed, brother. You
Yeah,
gotta feed.
so this will continue, and I'm sure it could be good matches definitely going forward. But then again, we already saw it though, and Shelton Benjamin won, so I guess Cedric is just trying to probably get his win back here. So we'll see what they do. But yeah,
Not getting sucker punched in the face like that, you ain't.
yeah, it's just one of those things. If they do it on a pay per view, I've already seen
But
it.
I think at this point too, is for Benjamin, it's all about respect.
Agreed. Yeah, I understand.
And I think that's the story that they're going to tell here.
Cedric came at him with a little bit too much disrespect there.
Yeah, but in the first match he showboated a bit, and he'll probably have to try to earn that respect. So I get that.
And I think that's what it is.
Right.
Shelton or not Shelton, Cedric needs to be humbled, and Shelton Benjamin will do so.
I could see this kind of going like a lovers' quarrel type of thing.
Yeah.
Cedric got a little bit too big for his britches. Shelton, being the veteran that he is like, you know what? I'm gonna put your ass in your place.
Yeah.
They're going to feud, and then after this, they'll come back as the tag team, which hopefully if they do, it's just another tag team for the division.
Yep.
Which is sorely fucking lacking.
Yes.
MVP and Lashley waited in the ring following a commercial break for someone to answer their challenge. The New Day's music hit, and it was Kofi Kingston answering the challenge. The announcers noted that Kingston already wrestled earlier in the match, and Lashley called him crazy for doing this. Before the bell rang, though, MVP made it very clear, which was the detail that they did not mention earlier, which was smart on their part, that they never said it was going to be a championship match. Kingston was pissed and attacked Lashley. The referee separated them before ringing the bell to start this match. Lashley immediately gave Kingston a spine buster for a near fall. Kingston fought out of a delayed vertical suplex and kicked Lashley out of the ring before hitting a big dive. After the break, they decided to air a replay of MVP's opening promo to prove that he never said it was a title match. Interesting they did this during the match, but they had to get that point across that he was not lying. He did not mention a title match.
Up from the time he said that on the apron, up until that point, people are probably searching themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he said it or not, and then they
again,
come back
it's
from
smart.
Commercial showing their own video proof.
He never said
that night. He never dropped. It's a title match.
Yeah, so kudos to that. At least definitely not getting that spot wrong earlier in the night. So good for them. Lashley was in control and hit a delayed. Lashley was in control and hit a delayed suplex for 2. Kingston came back with a chop and a DDT for two count. Lashley no sold a leg drop and hit a flatliner for a 2 count as well. Woods played his trombone on the outside again, trying to do the exact same spot he did with Randy Orton earlier. It worked to distract Bobby Lashley as well because Kingston was able to drive Lashley into the apron. It didn't really matter though because Lashley followed up with a Dominator before driving Kingston into the ring post. Lashley had Kingston on his shoulders on the outside, but Woods yanked him off. The ref told Woods to go to the back. As Woods argued with the referee, MVP got ready to attack Kofi Kingston with his cane. However, Drew McIntyre showed up at ringside, took the cane away, and hit Lashley in the gut with it. That's when Kingston caught Lashley at a schoolboy for the pinfall win. Kingston pins Lashley here, and McIntyre poses with New Day as the show ended. So a couple things here. Obviously, we had another world champion being pinned, but again, distraction and all this, so they're going to play it off as in he wasn't pinned legit.
No, they're not going to do that. What it is it's simply like this. This is for all the times that when Drew had that title, Lashley sent people after him.
Yeah.
Lashley, this was his way of getting back, saying, haha, I got one over you.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how it happened. I mean, as you can see, MVP was clearly going to hit Kingston with that damn cane.
Right.
And Drew was like, no. So this is just that I got one over on you. Nothing, just to infuriate Lashley into basically goading Lashley into giving him another title match.
Yep. That's exactly my thought is it's just a way for, like you said, it's just a way for Drew to like, you're not forgetting me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to pester you until you tell me yes.
Him losing like that doesn't mean anything. That's not the narrative they're going to go for at all.
And I understand that, but
they shouldn't go for it either.
You all know me. I am a stickler for pinning champions in general. I understand this doesn't necessarily make Bobby look weaker the way they booked it. I just don't like the idea of it at all. But
the thing, but champions got pinned. Like someone has to lose.
I understand.
Right?
Well, not always in this company, but yeah. but occasionally I don't mind it. Agreed, but they do it a lot, and this is another time they did it.
Wise, this fits perfectly.
This time it wasn't as bad as some, but
it has nothing to do with that. With Kofi beating Lashley. They ain't got shit to do.
But technically, by their booking standards, Kofi should be the #1 contender right now.
Well, for what? This wasn't for a title.
No, I know, but every time they pin champions, they get title matches in this company as of late. So I don't think that's what they're doing.
Fatal 4-way at fucking Hell in a Cell.
But here, this comes back to our earlier thing earlier. If they, after Hell in a Cell, possibly where are they going if Bobby Lashley beats Drew again? Possibly this is setting up maybe Kofi challenging Bobby because he could say, "I beat you." You could do that, but we'll see what they do after that. We may also obviously we're having the New Day against RK Bro most likely, but this could be where they go after that. Also interesting to note here, this is like the second or third time tonight they did a Schoolboy for a victory, which is something in roll-ups and stuff they've been doing a lot of lately too.
Man, I bet Corbin
Man,
is
listen to
furious
me.
right now.
Okay?
He's like in the back, like, hey, now that's the way I lose matches. Stop doing it. It's my thing.
I don't want to hear you bitch about that when literally in AEW, Jungle Boy's finisher is actually a fucking schoolboy.
No, but that's one
Which is
time.
a rare thing to see as a finish.
Yeah, but I mean, again, they're doing it every week on a lot of the finishes on 2 or 3 times in a show, so it gets redundant.
Finisher.
Well, I'm not talking about. Well, I mean, I get your point with Jungle Boy, but he does it by himself, and sometimes whatever he wrestles, which is not every week. WWE does it 2 or 3 matches on Raw, 2 or 3 matches on SmackDown, so it's like constantly.
Hey man,
you know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Surprise roll up is a surprise roll up. That's why it's called a surprise.
Ask Baron Corbin. He's notorious.
That's why it's
for
called a
losing that
surprise.
Yeah. So I mean,
motherfucker.
to me,
I
this
got the
show,
ball.
Yeah, exactly. Surprise, motherfucker.
yeah. I mean, to me, this show wasn't terrible, but it was meh to me. I mean, it had some good stuff, but a lot of bad stuff too. So I'm not a big fan of it. But do you guys have any other thoughts on it?
Nah, really.
No, it's kind of the same.
That's my whole take on wrestling as a whole.
Outside of last night I thought was pretty good. Outside of all the zombie stuff, but this show.
Hold on. There are moments where we're like, all right, this is good. This is serviceable.
I have hope.
We NXT. There was a couple great matches there, and everything. But then it's like, still for me, the state of wrestling is still kind of meh.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch it.
It's like we have a couple steps forward, 3 steps back, tonight.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just like-
it does happen. I mean, you can't have a good show every time. So I'm not going to kill them too much.
You can't have it knocked out the park all the time.
Right.
Yeah, because then that'll get boring.
That'll get boring, and then how do you top?
Yeah.
What do you do next week?
We
long
still... Go ahead.
As long as the wrestling shows that matter are the ones that deliver,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, we still have hope for
Pay-per-views do
SmackDown.
Good,
Yeah,
as long as
Yeah.
these big essentially the themed shows do good.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
I can
And at
handle...
this point, Raw has set such a low bar.
Yeah,
on what-
unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's the worst show of the
So,
week. So,
compare this show to like
No, hold on.
the shows like at the beginning of the year and even after Mania is like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the point they were earlier in the year, the only place to go is up.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. As bad as it is, there's still a show that is far worse, and we won't even cover that shit.
well, you got to sell us now.
We
The
cover
Impact.
every
Oh,
show
Impact?
in wrestling except for one.
Well,
Because
major
that-
promotion, I suppose. Yes.
It is a major promotion.
Yeah, I know,
It has
that's what I'm
one
saying.
of the major promotions with it. But we don't cover that show because even with that major promotion that's tagging along with Impact, it's still shit.
Well, not only that,
Yeah.
not many people watch it to begin with, so it's not really.
You know
important to
why
cover.
they don't watch it?
Well, maybe, but a lot of people don't watch NXT either, but we cover it. No, I'd say probably more
Yeah,
people watch
you-
NXT, but
I was about to say that. I
yeah, not
guarantee you
may
that-
not be by a
I
whole
don't
lot.
even know what
I'd have to look
fucking
up their
channel
ratings.
Impact is on right now.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. I could tell off the top of my head myself, but
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
even so. But yeah, I think we all agree though. Outside of maybe Impact, Raw is definitely the
even
worst show of
with-
the week. And even the most,
with Kenny Omega
Yeah.
as
As
your
your
heavyweight
champion.
champion,
yeah.
your show is still ass.
I mean, it's helping a little, maybe, but not a
no,
whole
it's
lot.
not.
Oh,
I mean, I've been seeing a lot more about Impact, but again, I'm not a
Only
big, I'm not
because
gonna
of Kenny Omega.
But that's
And
what I'm
the only
saying.
thing you
Kenny
hear
loses
about.
Yeah.
that title.
Yeah,
It'll go back to where it was.
Impact is
yeah, probably, most likely.
completely irrelevant.
Yeah, but even like I
Again,
said, even the most arduous
you-
AEW haters could probably agree that Raw is the worst show of the main shows every week
For
as of right now. Yeah,
You are such an optimist. I love how you're like, maybe. No, not maybe. It's been asked for a long time.
Well, yeah, and but my
They
point was
haven't got
Omega
their-
is
they haven't
elevating
had their
it
shit
at least a
together since
little because that's why we're
Oh.
hearing about it is because Omega's there. But yeah,
Again,
you
that's
take him
right.
away,
If-
yeah, absolutely.
They had a murder mystery on their show for weeks.
But did they have zombies? That's
It was arguably worse. I'd have took the zombies over this shit.
yeah. I mean, and you know, AEW does some stupid
And
stuff too. It's just
technically,
the way it is.
yes. Technically, yes, in Decay, but actually, Rosemary and Crazy Steve are actually really good too.
You know a lot more about it than I do, so we'll leave it at that.
Only from their indie shit.
Right. But what did you guys think about Monday Night Raw for May 17th, 2021? Comment down below. Let us know. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you get all the notifications about when we put up new content on our channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell too. And until our next video, guys, take care.
Later.
Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right. I swear to God that I can drop it, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable.